Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we've learned that we're getting a new Figura Obscura tomorrow from Four Horsemen. What could it be? They've given us some clues, so let's talk about it. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector.
If you like my content, please consider subscribing.
Man, I'm so happy that A, that it's Friday, and B, that the Four Horsemen decided to drop this Figura Obscura tease on us. We kind of thought maybe this was going to drop last week. There were some rumblings because it seems to be like this is about the time of year, like over the last couple of years, this is when they've released one. And so like we're now getting like two a year. So it was like really starting to get to that point where it's like, okay, they should be releasing one now. And we kind of thought it was coming last week, but probably they decided maybe not to do it because of the Outpost Zaxius coming in and people getting their all-ins shipped out and getting them in. So they were probably like giving this some breathing room, let that dominate for a week or so, and then drop this. So we all woke up this morning to this image right here, and it says, you know, basically, time to unwrap a new Figura Obscura 518 just tomorrow. We only have to wait for tomorrow. We know that they like to do them on Saturdays because you know, people are home and people are off work typically, and then people can, you know, be able to partake. Just like before, they're going to do 2 drops, one in the morning, one in the evening, so that, you know, it's a time thing. And typically they've been making enough of these that I've seen like the morning stuff not sell out, and they're still available throughout the day, you know, even into the night, and then the second drop happens. So, you know, that kind of gives you some time. You don't have to do like a knee-jerk reaction and instantly buy the moment it goes up on Saturday morning, unless you're just a hardcore all-in, I want them all kind of collector, which with Mythics, Cosmics, and Figura Obscura, that's kind of me. I will probably just hit buy now instantly tomorrow morning. But there's a lot of speculation here. Clearly, it is something that is Egyptian from the artwork that they have given us, but it does say time to unwrap. You know, and then even in the email that they sent out, it said something that's lurking the halls. So I think a lot of people instantly went to a mummy. Like it's definitely going to be some sort of mummy or you know, some kind of skeleton, bone, decaying flesh thing, because we have the Necronominus wave coming out. So I think a lot of people instantly went there, to which I only say, with the Figura Obscura line, it looks like for the most part they like to do about a 90, this is not scientific, but it looks to me like they typically like to do like a 90 to 95% brand new tool. You know, if you think about the Monkey King, or you think about Jacob Marley, you know, in particular, you know, those are mostly all brand new sculpts. There's a couple of parts that are reuse, of course. And so I think what we're going to get is a 90 to 95% completely new tooled figure with a couple of reuse parts. So, you know, a lot of people instantly jumped to Anubis. That would be incredible. That would be fantastic. I like to think, because there's a scarab like featured very prominently right in the middle, and this clearly is not a piece of art they found online. You can see that this was created because they've got the Figura Obscura key logo over here. You've got something over here in the corner that looks like a figure holding, you know, like an ankh, but also a sword. To me, this just, I kind of feel like this is probably a custom piece of art, but they've got this scarab like right here, almost dead center. Is that the Prince logo? Like, that's crazy. Is that the artist formerly known as Prince? Is that his logo there? I just kind of just saw that and it just hit me, if I'm not mistaken. But I think my guess is that we're going to get something kind of like a scarab god, with 90 to 95% new tooling, and then probably some Phyrexian guard parts from Cosmics, because I don't know if any of the Figura Obscura figures have used any Cosmic pieces yet, so that would be kind of cool. But in my chat group, a bunch of my friends have started, like I had one friend mention. Jeff, I think he mentioned that he thought of Cleopatra. That would be really cool. And then that got us talking about female characters, because you know what? The Figura Obscura line hasn't done a female character yet, and that would be really cool. And a quick Google search reveals that there are quite a bit of, Egyptian goddesses that would be great. I would totally be down for that. We haven't gotten one yet, and I think that would be absolutely fantastic. So I don't think they're going to go, super easy on us like a mummy. I don't think it's going to be a mummy, because I like to think that the Four Horsemen are trying to think about what we guess it's going to be, and then they completely, subvert that expectation with something else completely. I remember that when the Mask of Red Death came out, and they put the clock up there, everybody was, kind of goofing around, but everybody was like, it's going to be the rabbit from from Alice in Wonderland, or things like that, like people were like trying to figure out like a time thing. But ultimately the clock was, even though it was a big part of the set, is kind of like not the biggest part of the Red Death story. So I think they kind of think of like, oh, like how can we tease this in a way that's gonna kind of throw them off? I still think it's going to be some sort of Egyptian god, but I don't think it's going to be something as simple as potentially like a mummy or Anubis, which like everybody thinks like. So Jeff, like coming up with Cleopatra, I thought was really dope. That would also be like from literature and stuff like that too. So that would be kind of cool, because I think they try to tie this into those types of stories. But, and also folklore. So like with the Monkey King. So I don't know. I'm still going to say that I think it's going to be some sort of scarab god, but it could be a totally new creation, and I'm down for it, because, pretty much anything that they come up with, I'm down for, especially when it comes to Figura Obscura. They never disappoint. And there's going to be pins and mugs, and I haven't bought a pin or a mug yet, so I may do an all-in tomorrow, depending on how much this one hits me. I really do wish I had gotten a pin and a mug for the Headless Horseman, because that's been my favorite release so far. Because also, that was also the figure that got me back into Mythic Legions like 2 years ago. So anyway, yeah, so that's going to be really cool. And we won't have to wait very long. As a matter of fact, this video probably won't have a very long shelf life, because we'll know... in like 24 hours, we'll know exactly what it was. So this is just kind of speculation for today only, just a little bit of fun. But, keeping it Mythic Legions and Cosmic Legions, I am going to meet up with a good friend of mine, Matt, here in town today, and I'm going to be picking up a couple of Cosmics from him from Wave 1 that I never got around to picking up, the Sphyrexian Prison Guard and the Engineer. I've completed a couple of other Mythic customs. Let's see, like right here, you really can't really see, but there's my Otho. If you follow me in the Cabal, you've probably seen pictures of this. This is Otho version 2, and then way down here, a little sneak peek, you can't really see, but right there is my version 2 of Jorun Rune Shaper. I would need a couple of other custom, like a custom cape and some magic effects from the Ploxus Wave before I'm ready to share that guy, but he'll be up to share next. And I think that makes like the 4th version 2 that I've made. Like right up here, you can't really see, but I've got a version 2 of Halmir that I made myself, because I love that character and I'll probably never own the original. And also I've got a version 2 that I made of Thistlethorn, and then over here, like right there, I have a custom Balaam that I made, because he is also very cool, and I'll be sharing that figure on the Cabal soon. I'll probably do a big collection of my version 2s that I've made and throw that up for you guys so you can check it out at some point. But anyway, that's really all I had to talk about today. It's all kind of Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, and Figura Obscura. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you think the Figura Obscura figure is going to be for tomorrow, and let's see who's right. Somebody's going to nail it, because we got a savvy crowd out there in the Cabal. But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please continue to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I'm your host, Mark, and I will see you in the toy aisles.